Hey, brothers and sisters, it is Leopard, your coach and mentor from the Leopard Institute of Coaching and Mentorship. So, today I would like us to have a brief discussion. I'm calling it brief because I'm just helping you to understand the scope of things that we discuss in our classes and in our sessions, and we go ahead to process them into very much deeper levels in a manner that they can make complete transformation of our lives. So, today I'm giving you snippets on the subject and the topic of basic and fundamental emotional human needs. So, since we were little children growing up and in school, we were taught about the basic human needs. We know about basic human rights and those kind of things. And I believe that it is important that we also get to a place where we understand our emotional needs and which ones are the basic ones, so that when your fundamental emotional needs are not being met or are being abused, then you will know that you might be bordering in the territory of illness and emotional illness, and you are bordering in the area and taking the trajectory of trauma such that it will either destroy you or limit you from experiencing a quality life. So the fundamental ones are very simple. I will start by saying that it is a fundamental, basic human emotional need to feel happy. And so if you are not feeling happy, you need to ask yourself why that is the case. You need to try and find out what is causing you to be unhappy. But then in our classes, we also help you to understand that when you're not happy, there is so much that could go wrong in your life. And when you are not happy, you are susceptible to so many manipulations that come from our environment, and you are likely to just make wrong decisions in many areas of your life simply because you were not happy. The other thing that is important is that we need to feel fulfilled. We need to feel we are fulfilled and satisfied in our personal lives in any sphere or environment that we occupy. And we will be trying to establish how all this comes about. It is also a basic human emotional need to feel at peace. Do you feel at peace? It is a question that you need to answer. If you are not at peace, you should be able to address that as a need to find out why is it that you are not at peace. Do you feel confident? It's either yes or a no. Why is that the case? And in our classes, we try to discuss this, to dissect this. We try to poke our imaginations. We try to look backwards. We look at the present. We cascade. We find out whether these aspects are coming from our immediate families, whether they are coming from our relationships, whether they are coming from our workplace, whether they are coming from even our religious environments. Because, trust you me, you can feel unsafe sometimes. And so our classes are making every possible effort to assist us to know as to whether our fundamental human emotional needs are being met. It helps us to understand who in the first place is expected to meet those particular needs, and are they meeting those needs. And if they are not meeting those particular needs, then you need to ask yourself, what can you do about it? What remedies exist? Is it something that you can help, or are you hopeless? Of course, you cannot be hopeless as a child of God. I want us to ask ourselves, what are the themes, what are the thematic areas that would assist us to fill the components that I've just said of safety, of being at peace, of being happy, and being confident? So basically, I will say that the thematic areas will be areas of safety. Do you feel safe? in your environment? Do you feel safe in your relationship? Do you feel safe in your marriage? Do you feel safe at your workplace? Is your work environment a safe place to be? Is your friend zone, is the zoning of your friendship a safe place to be? Do you have friends who project safety to you? Do you have relationships that project safety to you, make you feel safe? Do you feel appreciated? Do you feel appreciated in your workplace? Do you feel appreciated in your social circles? Do you feel appreciated in the places where you serve? Do you feel accomplished? But also, finally, do you feel a part of a community? Do you feel you are isolated or you are integrated? So these are the things that we will be trying to discuss in our classes. And so I'm just juggling your mind and inviting you into this kind of discussions, if anything. We are trying to find out, what kind of community do you belong to? Is it a safe community for you? Is it a good community for you? Is it by any chance abusing your fundamental human emotional needs? We will try to address issues like, what behaviors of the people around us would make us feel safe. Doesn't matter whether it is at work, whether it is in marriage, whether it is in a dating scene, whether it is with friendship, whether it is within your own family, with your siblings, with your parents, with your neighbors, and with your relationships. We will be trying to find out, are your partners dismissive of your feelings? Do they push you to suppress your emotions? Of course, when we were growing up, we were not allowed to cry. We were told, you are a man, you must never cry. That was not entirely a good thing. But again, it is discussion for another day. Does your partner accept your feelings and allow you to fully express them? Are your partners able to communicate their feelings? Are you yourself a good communicator? Are you able to communicate your feelings so that the people around you are able to know what you're feeling, what you're going through, how you perceive things and that kind of a thing? But then on the flip side of it, not judge you, because if they judge you on account of how you're feeling and tell you, how on earth could you even feel that? How on earth could you even do that? It actually means that you will not feel safe and vulnerable and relaxed to be able to share your feelings to that person or to those people. So we'll be looking at healthy, safe behaviors and unhealthy behaviors that border on emotional safety, because emotional safety is a big deal, and it is a big drill in many relationships and in many lives of different people. We'll be looking at what what are the best elements, what are the best aspects of relationships with people that make it possible for you to feel emotionally safe? Do they listen to you? Do they validate you? Do they do they allow you to tell how you feel? Are they patient? Do they judge you? Do they take your struggles personally? Do they mock you or look down upon you on account of your struggles? Or are they able to empathize with your struggles and help you to overcome your struggles? Because if you are not experiencing these things in your relationships, whether it is a romantic relationship with your boyfriend, whether it is in your marriage, then you are treading on grounds that are not safe for you emotionally. And it is only a matter of time before you either break down emotionally, or these limitations are going to be a precursor and a recipe for the full blown manifestation of limitation in your life, such that your emotional well-being and your mental state will never allow you to thrive beyond a certain area, because it sucks energy from you. It sucks virtue from you. It sucks your ability to be objective, to express your potential. Because if you cannot express yourself, then definitely you cannot express your potential. You cannot express your talent. You cannot express your imagination. You cannot express your ideas and your creativity and your innovation in your place of work, in your marriage, in your social relationships, in your families, and in your circle of friends. And if this happens to you, it is only a matter of time before you are suffocated and the mental programming of your mind and your thoughts and perception gets clogged up and locked up in a certain safe wardrobe or cupboard and is put under lock and key. And once that is put under lock and key, because there is a threshold beyond which trauma and emotional damage can go and lock you up. And once it is locked up, it means that you are hereby limited from experience certain aspects and tenets of your life. Your potential gets limited that it cannot go beyond a certain rate limiting step. And so your effectiveness and your productivity in your place of work, your effectiveness and productivity in your family setup, your productivity and effectiveness as a man gets compromised in your family setup or in your marriage setup, or your effectiveness and productivity as a woman gets compromised in your family setup, in your dating setup, in your marriage setup. And all these are important aspects that we need to look at. But finally, what we are also going to do, we are going to study the story of personality development and identity development. And all along, okay, this is what I mean. Let me just simplify it. Let me say that the process of personality development is something that takes place from the moment when somebody is born all the way up to the day they exit or they left the group called Earth. And all this put together, our emotional well being, our feeling of happiness, our feeling of fulfillment, our feeling of confidence, and our feeling of satisfaction, safety, and peace, being appreciated, being validated, being given attention, and being found worthy and not being judged. All these feelings put together, and the feeling of isolation or living and thriving within a community, all put together, and a trajectory is drawn about your personal life. And so there are certain personality skills and traits that are developed at each individual blocks of our lives. And there are theories that have been proven over time, and research has been done and established that indeed these theories speak so much about how we develop our personalities, how we develop our identity, and how we turn out, and the emotions that we carry into our adulthood, and the feelings that we carry into our adulthood, the attitudes that we carry into our adulthood, and the perspectives, how we view the world around us. So I will be trying to study all those parameters together with you, and we are going to block out in 3 dimension. If you can follow me, because I'm drawing 3D, I hope you can capture that. So in 1 dimension, I will be isolating blocks of life. So I'll be saying between birth and 2 years, what was happening there. Between 2 years and between 3 to 5 years, what was happening there. Between 6 and 9, what was happening there. Between 9 and 12, what was happening there. Between 12 and 20, what was happening there. Between 20 and 30, what was happening there. 30 and 40, what was happening there. 40, through to 60, what's happening in there, and 60 and above, what is happening in there. That's the first dimension. The second dimension, I will be studying the skills that we develop through those edge blocks that I have mentioned. And I'll be studying, so I'll give you very simple examples. I'll give you two, just so that, I don't look like I'm being too academic on this front. So between the ages of 9 and 12, that is mostly when the personality of superiority and inferiority is developed. So that is when a child feels confident, like they are good enough and they are probably good at these or not so good at these. They feel they are superior than so and so, but they can identify that the other person is superior than me in this aspect, but I'm superior to them in this particular aspect. I can run faster than them, but they are stronger than me. I am good in football, but they are good in basketball. They are good debaters, and I am not a good debater. They are great in mathematics, but they can't beat me in geography. Those kind of things. So I will be trying to analyze in your block of age Did you develop that skill properly? And how is that affecting you today? So we'll look at very many things. There is a stage when you develop trust or mistrust, when you either become a pessimist or an optimist. We will try to look and find out what was happening there. There is a place for independence, whether you are allowed to express yourself and grow into an independent person, confident thinking person who can do things on your own and survive on your own, or did you not develop that? And we'll be looking at how that is affecting you today, as to whether you can actually be at peace with yourself and thrive as a person, or you need other people to come and do what you should have done in order for you to feel complete. We'll be looking at all these aspects as to whether they developed properly or if there are deficiencies. But we don't just leave you like that. We also interrogate to ask ourselves, what is there to be done? Within the teenage bracket, that is when the aspect of identity is resolved. So I'll be helping some parents realize what happens when maybe you've had trouble with the father of your child or the mother of your child, and I'm sorry for some bike passing in my neighborhood. There's very little that I could do because it's too loud. I'm sorry for that. So that's when we'll be looking at issues of identity. What identity do our children pick, and have they resolved that identity? There are some families, communities that are matriarchal in nature, and so when a child has the identity of the community of the mother, the community accepts them and they take that identity and they are home and dry. There are some communities that do not give a lot of peace to the mothers, and so even when the child tries to fit into the community of the mothers, they still struggle with that identity. The community does not accept them fully and makes them know that there is a difference between the children of our sister and the children of our brother. How do children go about this, and how does that affect them? And then the third dimension is that we will be looking all through these blocks that I'm saying, and we'll be asking questions. Were you happy in this block? Did you feel safe in this block? Did you feel free in this age bracket? Did you feel integrated in this age bracket? Did you feel appreciated in this particular age bracket? Did you receive the attention that was due to you? And how does that affect you? And who are playing these roles? Who were expected to play specific roles as caregivers, whether it was the teachers, the parent, or whosoever else? And how did you feel? Issues, that border on the dynamics between a firstborn, a middle child, and a lastborn. How did you feel? And how has that affected you today, and how you perceive things and how you do things? And are there some necessary changes in the process? And what environment was that? So we synthesize all this. And in the subsequent class, not particularly on this topic of basic human emotional needs, there are psychological tools that we are going to use to test certain aspects of our lives, find out what our love language is. And when we talk about love language, it does not necessarily mean it is in the romantic setup. I find that the scholars really limited us, but it's okay. We'll be trying to find out that how was the process of our personality development based on the 3Ds that I've just given you. But the question will be, we'll be trying to process through testing tools to find out whether there were some personality disorders that were developed as a result. Because trust you me, there are certain people whom you clap for today, whom you admire today, and you think that it is a strength of theirs, whereas it's probably not a strength, but instead they are overachieving to compensate for something that is missing in their lives. You may say that somebody is confident, somebody is outgoing, and you think you like that person because you feel they are outgoing. Yet, that outgoing nature is as a result of the fact that this person was not given attention as they were growing up. And so there are two extremes of development. Some people end up withdrawing, but others overseek attention. They overindulge themselves so that they can be noticed. Why? Because they are compensating for their feeling of not being given attention. And they fear that in this particular setup, they might be forgotten. They may not be noticed like has been their bad experience in the past. It is important for us to know whether there are some personality disorders that have accrued over time and are now manifesting in areas and are worth paying attention to and doing something about. These are the depths of the discussions and conversations that we are having in our classes. Plan to enroll. Today, our discussion has been the basic, fundamental, emotional human needs. God bless you. Enroll for this class. Talk to us on Leopard Institute at gmail.com. Write us an email or call us on our number 0721 663 600 and let us engage. Shalom and God bless you.